Hi, this is John. Today's video, I will explain what I did to repair a gas leak on one of my barbecue hoses. If you look inside, so here's my barbecue right here. And then underneath, right here on this line right here, I had a gas leak. Now, if you notice, this is my gas line coming in, and that plugs to the gas from my house. Then it comes in, or this line could plug into a propane or something like that. But what I found is I had a gas smell whenever I turned on the gas for the barbecue. And then what I did was, you can try sniffing around and see where the leak is. These hoses over time will start to crack and you might get a little gas leak or something. But what you could take is dish soap in a little spray bottle, and you just start spraying almost just about everything. You just start spraying everything to figure it out where the leak is. And what'll happen is you'll just start having bubbles come up. And so I had a bunch of bubbles right here. Now this originally mounted right in this spot, which caused this hose to take a super sharp bend, and then this gas, basically a gas valve pressure regulator was attached right here. So you can't get rid of this thing. Okay, if for some reason you found this thing leaking, you can't just take it out, okay? Because you got a higher pressure gas here, and then this drops it down to lower pressure. Okay, now getting to the leak. So I found the leak here. Now, the first thing I did was I took the first attempt to repair the leak. I used electrical tape, wrapped it up, overlapped it by 1/2 inch, went front and back, and that lasted, I think, maybe a year, a little over a year, and then it started leaking again. I knew it was a temporary fix. So then, now that I have more time, I decided to attempt to use a better type of leak repair. Now you can see this is the original hose. This still looks pretty good. It doesn't take a sharp bend, it's just a nice swoop. But this was such a sharp bend, I bet that's why it did not last long. I didn't want to have to go and find this piece and have to disconnect this and disconnect that and put a new section in here and deal with that. So what I did was I used this. This is a flex or wrap fix. Now there's different types. What you want to do is look for something that says self-fusing repair tape. In some of the descriptions it'll say no adhesive, no damage or residue, self-bonding, stretches, and then it gives you some images here on what it could be used for. Now I'm using it for gas. Now look, on barbecues and natural gas, the pressure's very, very small. I mean, it's not even 1 psi. It's like super small. So using this type of tape, it looks like electrical tape. You'll know you pretty much got the right tape, because it'll have a plastic over it. And what that plastic is for is to just keep the tape from getting really dirty. Now it's a little tricky on how to apply it. I don't want to say tricky, but yeah, I guess I can say that. It's kind of tricky and awkward. Now as you're putting it on, you're stretching it about as much as you can stretch it. So basically, when you're wrapping it, it's in a stretched formation. So you're kind of pulling on it the whole time you're wrapping it. And then what I do is, like, if the tape's this wide, I'll overlap it by half. So half the tape is overwrapping itself as I'm going. And what I do is I wrapped it all the way to one end, and all the way from the other end and back. Did I have to do the entire part of the hose? Nah, not really, but since it had a crack there, I wanted to eliminate future cracks somewhere else. So I wrapped the whole darn thing. I went one way that way, one way back. And now it is going to get awkward if you just let the tape unroll itself and then you're trying to wrap it and you're trying to catch the tape. So you may want to just, there's so much of it. If you know I mean, this will last for another piece of hose too. So if you wanted to practice with it, you could probably sacrifice maybe, you know, like about 10 inches of it and still have plenty to do it, because or you could just go for it and try wrapping it. But what'll happen is you have to, because this is a tight spot, and most likely yours could be in a tight spot too. It's just gonna take two hands. You're gonna more than two hands, like two hands and most of your fingers, just trying to manipulate this tape around the hose. So if you look, that hose and that one, that's a lot thicker now. I'm 100% sure that's definitely going to stop the gas leak. Now, am I going to mount this back in this little spot right here? No. I want the hose to have a natural, just swooping bend. I'm probably just going to let that drag there. But what I'm thinking is I might take a zip tie and just leave it like that, so that way this line will look just like that. And I'm just going to secure it, zip ties through this vent a few times and just have it just rest like that. I mean, this thing isn't mobile and bouncing around a lot. It's pretty much in one spot all the time. If yours is mobile, then maybe you can put a couple zip ties, like one here and another one there. Just find a way, or if it looks like you can secure it back into the spot you had it in. I would think you could try this on a lot of different, or if I had different barbecues and I had the same problem, I'm sure you could come up, or I could come up with the same idea on how to secure that. So anyway, this stuff is great. Just called like a adhesive, it's a flex tape. There's no glue, no nothing. It's just stretchy rubber tape. Okay. Now, I don't think I mentioned that when you're wrapping this, the plastic tape is to basically keep as much debris off of it as you can. That's going to be really difficult. So as you're wrapping it, I'm kind of like brushing off anything, because sometimes the tape will unroll, it'll pick up debris on here, then as you're wrapping it, you'll feel that debris. So I just kind of brush it off as much as I can. You're not going to get it all off. And don't get frustrated, because anytime you do something for the first time, it's going to be awkward and it's going to want to fight back. So just be glad you're trying to do it yourself and learning something new and saving yourself money, hopefully. So that's it. I just wanted to make a video about how to repair a gas leak and not give up on your barbecue by getting another one just because it has a gas leak. Now, other gas leaks, let's say it doesn't smell like smell like it's coming from anywhere else, but maybe inside here, and you know everything's off on your knobs. Okay, all your knobs are off. Of course, you have to have your gas on to see if there's a leak when you're testing for a leak. But let's say everything's off and you got gas going to it, but you smell gas when you know gas is nowhere else. Sometimes you could be getting gas out of the orifices, which means it's time to replace that. That thing's leaking. It's not sealing all the way. So then you would have to swap that out. That you would have to just go through your manager, and you just go to your nameplate and your model serial number and just say, or just look up Genair parts, and it'll tell you to put in the model serial number, and then you just say, you know, Manifold, or it might just bring up a list of parts and be super easy to pinpoint that. Good luck.